Hi, it's Sean, the Fluency Awesomeizer. Here's another video where I want to take a few minutes and help you decode big words. I'm actually going to help you decode a tricky word today. It's not a very big word. But I've got 3 words to look at, so let's get ready. Now, I'm about to show you a word, and I want you to read this right out loud to whoever you're there with. What is this word? How about this one? And the third word. Okay, this is a good batch today. These words are really similar and definitely tricky. Top word is foreign. In the middle is foraging. Down below is foraging. Now we're going to focus on the word foreign and the letter G. That letter G is very sneaky. We're going to compare these words, but before we do, I want you to get in the frame of mind of the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. Like all fables, The Tortoise and the Hare teaches young people a moral, a life lesson they have for hundreds of years, and the big moral here is slow and steady wins the race. Now that seems to only apply to anyone who's in a race. So I like to think of the life lesson as slow and steady. Take things slow and steady. And one area in your life where you can take things slow and steady is when you're reading tricky words or big words. Like I said, this one's not very big, obviously, but it is certainly tricky. So we learned that lesson from the tortoise, and if the tortoise comes to a word like foreign, he's going to read it slow and steady. He might not be accurate, could make a mistake, but at least he's patient. The hare, however, is nowhere near as patient as the tortoise. And when you rush through a word like foreign, it's very likely you'll make a mistake, all right, due to the impatience. Before we compare these words, which reader are you, the tortoise or hare? Go. Notice how patient the tortoise is compared to the hare. So with that in mind, be the tortoise. Let's compare these words. All right, I want to illustrate the confusion between foreign and foraging, right? Notice the colored letters in foraging. What's similar about foreign? Well, foreign has the 4 in the beginning. It's got a G like foraging, and it has an I and an N like foraging. But notice the letters are a little mixed up top. Foreign also has an E that makes it different from foraging. But how can you confuse foreign with foraging? Watch this. Here's the hare. He's at the starting line. You can see F-O-R. Both words start the same. On your mark, get set. Watch that G. On your mark, get set, go. Yoink. If the hare rushes through foreign, it's possible that that G reverses, turning it into foraging. Foraging. Now, see that G in foraging? If you drop that G, like so many people do when they pronounce words with ing, you'll say foraging, right? And when you speak and leave the G off, you can write that down on paper or print it on paper by using an apostrophe to represent that G. That apostrophe actually looks like a very tiny G, doesn't it? Anyway, foraging, that's how foreign can look like foraging. That may have happened when you first read the word foreign in this show. Now let's look at the confusion between foreign and another word the hare might say when trying to read foreign. Foraging. Right? Now look at the colors in foraging. Foreign has the 4 we talked about. It has an EG, not an AG, but an EG, and there's an IN, just like foraging. All right, so after that first syllable 4, things get a little crazy, a little mixed up. So that's what I want you to keep in mind as the hare rushes through foreign. On your mark, get set, watch this, go. Yoink. Did you see it? I'll do another race. On your mark, get set, go. The ing reversed places, and now foreign looks like foraging. Dropping that G, I'll put apostrophes again. Foraging. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that's what happened up here in your mind when you went to read foreign. Your brain reversed the letter like the G and I just replaced or switched. That could explain where you got foraging from, if that's what happened. Now let's look at the root words. The root word of foreign is forest. It's an old Latin word, forest. And forest means outside. Ah, wait a minute. Forest sounds like forest. Hey, is that the root of forest? I think it might be. Anyway, forest, the old Latin word, over time became the old French word foreign. Look at this version of foreign. It's not modern French. It's another period of time in French history. Foreign literally looks like for in. That must explain the pronunciation of foreign. Now, over time, French, the language of French changed. There's a French word, sovereign. See the ending E-I-G-N? Somewhere at some point in time, they thought, let's change foreign into the modern version of foreign that we know and use with the E-I-G-N ending, foreign. And what's so foreign about the word foreign is that G is silent, right? And it's because of the old French version of foreign that you can see here. All right, so that's the story of foreign. Foreign, as you know, means from another country, anything having to do from another country, like France, for example. It also means strange or unfamiliar, like these foreign words I keep saying. Another one being bonjour, right? You may have not heard the word bonjour before, but if you were in France, you'd hear it all the time. That's how people greet each other. Hello. It means hello in French. Bonjour. It doesn't sound English, though. It's foreign sounding. So that's the story of the word foreign. Now, the root of foraging, it looks like foraging, we're going to explain that G in a moment, is fabrica, an old Latin word, fabrica, which means a man-made object like fabric. It also means a workshop, right? Keep that in mind. Watch in just a moment. Fabrica over time became the French word fourrière. Fourrière, there's a foreign word, fourrière. And fourrière in French means to make or construct. And from fourrière, we have the English word forge. Now look at that word forge. See the silent E? Without that silent E, that says forg. G makes two sounds, typically. Here's G in sign language. Here's a quick way to remember the two G sounds. This G looks like a goose. Honk, honk, honk if you did a shadow animal. And to remember the G sound, think either like geese. Well, that goose is just a gentle giant. Look at you. That's the soft G, j, j, j. Or you don't like geese. Ugh, gross, goose. Get going, goose. You're gross. Good, good, good. That's the hard G sound. So we got a hard G right here with forg. And thanks to the French origin of forge, we put a silent E after a G. It's going to guarantee a soft G sound. So that's the word forge. Forge has a couple of meanings. One of them is working with metal. You forge metal down at the blacksmith where they forge horseshoes. And historically, they've always forged swords. Swords. Forge also means to falsely imitate. And to make sense of that, hey, I've got George Washington's autograph. I really do. You're probably thinking, no, you don't. George Washington, he lived a very long time ago. How do you have his autograph? Well, I have it. Look, I'll show it to you. Here it is. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? That is not George Washington's autograph. First of all, his name is not Gorge. Look at his first name. That Gorge looks like the word forge we're taking time with right now. Yeah, well, guess what? That's not really his autograph. I forged his signature. And that's another meaning of forge. So forge, we drop the E and add ing to get forging. That's not forging. You have to remember that it used to be forge. Drop the E, add ing. And that's the story of the word foraging. Now, the root of foraging is an old French word, faire. Faire. In Old French, that word faire means straw. Now, I'm not talking about drinking straws. I'm talking about a long time ago before drinking straws. I'm talking about food for horses and cows, like these two. Are you guys hungry? All right, let's go. I'll feed you. Back to the barn. Faire over time became the modern French word fourrage. Fourrage, listen to that, fourrage. And fourrage in French means feed, not this feed, the verb feed me, but feed is a word for the food for your farm animals like cows and horses. All right, you two, I told you, back to the barn. You have plenty of food back there. All right, fourrage over time became the English word forage. Forage, forage, right, has a French root, forage, and that silent E without it, that says forag. That's a hard G. You need that soft G, just a gentle giant. Forage. And that means, it's a verb, it means to search for food. And when I think of searching for food, I think of squirrel. Hey, back to the barn. Annie, close the barn door. The animals keep getting out. Beat it, you two. I fed you already. Squirrels. Forage. Squirrels are always foraging for food. I said, Annie, the barn door. Beat it, all of you are all nuts. So forage, drop the E and add ing, and you get foraging, not forragging. You have to remember it used to be a silent E. Foraging, and that is the story. Yay, back to the barn. Farming life. Foraging, that's the story of foraging. All right, let's wrap this video up with some fluency awesomizing. I have got a phrase for you. Get ready to read it. I want you to get ready to hit pause and read this phrase just like a race, but be the tortoise. From start to finish, I want you to read it right out loud to whoever you're there with, and I need to get out of the way. This is a pretty long phrase. Hit pause, be the tortoise, and read this right out loud. All right, that's going to do it for today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel where I post videos just like this to help readers in 2nd through 6th grade decode big words and tricky words, and give them lots of spelling tips too, and maybe some history lessons. They're meant for beyond 6th grade as well, or even before 2nd if the reader's ready for a challenge. Mom or Dad, you can follow me on Facebook at the Fluency Awesomizer. In my photos, I have over 200 examples of these fluency awesomizing phrases to awesomize your fluency. All right, come back and see me again here real soon. Bye.